Hi Vikram,
Yeah.
lovely to talk to you again. Always keep meeting you at various events. So lovely to have this chat around the future of retail, what you're seeing as the major retail trends. I mean, just look at if I look at it from my side, coming from a consulting background, retail is
Mm-hmm.
probably seeing the most change that we have seen in if you look at across all industries, is seeing the
Mm-hmm.
maximum change. Is seeing a change because technology in retail is changing, because the consumer behavior is changing. Today's consumer
Mm-hmm.
probably has more technology in their hands that they've ever had in previous generations. Also, the consumer today seems to be, as a result of technology and connectivity, seems to be very, very well informed when they are buying a product online, in store, or
Mm-hmm.
any particular channel. Then you have the rise of Q-commerce and new platforms emerging. So just talk a bit about, and you are, leading one of the largest retailers, not just in India, but coming from the Middle East, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have a huge strength in retail. Just talk a bit
Mm-hmm.
about where do you see uh, retail today? What is the future of retail? And if we were having this conversation maybe 5 years from now, what would retail look like
Mm-hmm.
to you? What would the overall
Okay.
landmark retail look like?
Okay. Okay. 5 years from now is a far-fetched one
Yeah,
in
maybe two
today's
years these
environment.
days.
Anyway, first, thanks for having me on this session. I think it'll be a good conversation. I hope it'll be a good one. So, yeah, Rajat, I think while you've talked about, in the past, we've always been talking about, high level of personalization, omni-channel, now quick commerce, and all of that stuff. I want to actually keep that to the side for a moment, right? Because those are much used terms that are there and talked about for retail from a future point of view all the time. But my personal view, with the way new tech has been coming in and customers are adopting, I feel that retail is going to be extremely highly conversational and highly informational in terms of real time information. And I can elaborate that with a little bit of a kind of a flow or a story that I would kind of just like to share. Okay, I'll kind of equate it to a actual life experience that one can have. Okay, so let's say I am browsing on an app or on a browser, right, when I want to go shopping. Tomorrow I could still go to the particular brand or the particular marketplace or the retailer's website or the app, but I would engage in a conversation rather than looking at a list of products or even typing a search message. I can just say, hey, I'm looking to go out tonight and I'm looking for a nice outfit, which could be black and white with a certain design. And the website or the app would throw a product story at me and say, okay, this is a kind of shirt, this is a kind of trouser. And then when I look at it, I'd say, no, but actually, I also want to see a slim fit type of a shirt. Okay. So then that's a conversation that I start with the website or the app that I'm dealing with now, right? And this would then come up and say, okay, a slim fit, here are the options. And since I'm a very environment conscious person and sustainability conscious person, I might just throw up, hey, also give me a fabric that is natural. I want a natural fiber. I do not want something that is artificial. And then the conversation and then the product could be refined. Now in this whole story, what's happened is I've started a conversation with the website or the app, right? And I've said, I'm looking for this. And then I've set certain directions or guardrails to them, saying, I'm actually looking at this and looking at that. So it's a conversation that I'm having. And I think in the future, retailers, brands, etc., are going to be integrating such kind of ideally AI based outputs or responses for customers. So I think that's the
Fantastic.
direction it's going. And information, for example, on the same story, I could then actually add another question to it and say, hey, okay, I like this shirt and trouser. how would this shirt look on me? Can you show me?
Exactly. I
And
was
then
going to
it
say
can
that.
show me
That
that.
can it show
Yeah,
me that? And then you could also say, I'm going for a formal dinner. How does it
yeah,
look like in a formal environment? Or if I'm
setting.
going for a wedding, can you create a wedding background with me in it so that I can see how I look in it? So it's actually taking it to the
Absolutely,
next level. So it actually helps you.
absolutely,
And then say, okay, what is the price point that I would like at? So it could even streamline to
exactly,
say, these are the models that would fit you in terms of your price point. And then would you like it to ship it to your house? Absolutely amazing, right? I mean, that's really the
exactly.
future of so
That's
interactive.
how it will go. Exactly. That's how it's going to move. And how quickly retailers, brands adopt technology and integrate it in is going to be the decider how quickly that happens really.
Fantastic. And are you, I mean, while this is obviously not that
Hmm.
futuristic, I could easily see that happening in a year or two, especially with
Yeah.
AI at the speed of it. Are there some elements of it that you
Mhm.
guys are already working on your website, on your apps? I mean, are you guys doing some of this so that customer is not just having to browse everywhere, but there can be a bit of
Yeah.
conversational commerce as well, and there could be a bit of directional as well. Is that something you are working?
Yeah, so we are to get to the conversational commerce that we talked about right now. I don't think any retailer is really doing it, and neither are we at that stage. Okay, we are still on the building blocks and making sure that basic things like my search capability has got AI built into it, and any other interactions that we have when I design my product, I've got AI built into how I came up with designs. When I'm communicating with customers, there are certain inputs that we take from analytical inputs that we use. So we are doing the building blocks for it. The whole conversation part of it is a much larger technology and not so much technology, but a customer journey kind of a flow which someone's got to think through and come up with. So I see that happening probably in the next 1 to 2 years. But as I said right at the start, that in today's world, picturing a 5 year out window is extremely difficult. So I think
Yeah.
looking 1 2 years down ahead is like good enough for us to achieve if we can.
Yeah. And I would just also say
Yeah.
that the next step could be that, if it's me, for example, if it's me ordering on your website, and then you could say,
Yeah.
okay, can you give me a quick scan of your wardrobe and let me see what do I have? So somewhere your existing wardrobe could get linked, and one of the somebody I know is trying to now link wardrobes, your existing wardrobe to
Yeah.
as like an inventory type of thing as well, so that you know what's out
Yeah.
there, and then you don't repeat. You're buying because there is a whole sustainability element as well. Do I need to have
Mhm.
5 shirts of the same type? Sometimes I don't even
Yeah.
know what I have, and that could be
Mhm.
absolutely. And like you're saying, I think this could just exponentially grow very quickly, right? It's not like it has to
Exactly.
be 5 steps. The moment your inventory and everything is ready, somebody comes up
Mhm.
with an app easily linked to it, and boom, suddenly in a year's time, you're having this
Yeah.
conversation. Already, we are seeing conversational commerce become so much better now thanks to AI, right? It's picking up
Yeah.
voice, sound, and under any environment, and
Yeah.
that's a whole piece, right? And again,
Yeah.
just leading from this. Sorry, go ahead.
Mm. I have, so I'll add one more part to this. So we've talked about the whole customer side of things, right? On how the customer interactions can get better. But if we even look at the other side, the supply side of it,
Yeah.
with the help of AI again, the whole ability to predict has got a lot better, and being able to make sharper offerings to customers is, I think AI will help a lot from that point of view. And retailers who adopt good principles to make very sharp, good analysis and come up with sharper offerings could even help reduce waste and stuff like that. So I think with the help of AI, retailers who are very conscious can actually make it leverage it even for sustainability as well as being very sharp to a customer. I think that's
Absolutely.
an area which people should
And I
also
think
look.
that's absolutely amazing, because once you have that inventory, the complete visibility of your inventory across the channels,
Yeah,
then it's very
yeah.
easy to do that. So that sort of leads my into the next sort of conversation I wanted to have was
Mhm.
what I mean, one of the things I still see is that if I'm shopping online versus offline for the same retailer, somehow
Yeah.
they don't know it's me. It's not Rajat who's online versus Rajat who's offline. And when I go offline, a lot of the times the people in the store don't even bother to know what have I shopped online, what have I browsed online.
Yeah.
So creating this single view of customer, how is it that,
Mhm.
I mean, that has to be a massive enabler, right? Because from a customer's
Mhm.
point of view, it's a seamless experience, whether I'm shopping in Landmark online or offline.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just need to have the product that I need. And to your
Yeah.
point, when you say when you given like a when you give a command or when you talk to the app and say I want this, it shouldn't
Mhm.
matter where it comes from. So
Yeah.
how is that single view of customer going to emerge, and what is it that you are doing to take away this silo mentality between between platforms,
Yeah, I think that's an
between
excellent
channels?
that's an excellent question, and this comes down to the fact about all of this AI bit that we talked about requires good data, right? For someone to be able to give a right recommendation. Now, so creating this data at a fundamental level, what all retailers or anyone who's selling uh, should need to ensure that the data is in a common place. Today, data is distributed in many, the online and offline data resides in two different systems. At a fundamental level, uh, to be able to adopt AI and have all of this fantastic output and have the single customer view, I think the first thing is get your data warehouse in place and get a data
Absolutely.
lake in place where all your information is coming to one place. And then you can put all the whiz bang and all the tools on top of that to, do the analysis, do the slice and dice and all of that stuff. But I think the fundamental building blocks, which most retailers are haven't yet got in place, is this having a single place of data where everything resides in one place. So that is most, I think, the enabler for all of this.
Absolutely. And I think that's where I
Yeah.
find a bit of disconnect, because when I go to an online platform of the same brand, and if I
Yeah.
spend a couple of
Yeah.
hours browsing, then when I go to their offline store, most of the time the offline
Yeah.
store guys don't even want to ask what you did online,
Don't.
because I think
Yeah.
sometimes they are not even incentivized to, because that guy says
That- yeah.
this is my fortress. Online guy says this is my fortress. I will only get incentivized or whatever, recognized based on what I sell in my platform. And I
Right.
think they miss
Right.
a big link, right? Because I've spent so much time. If you say, so when did you last log into your app? Let me just put on your
Mhm.
app, and then I immediately see your history and say, why don't you,
Mhm.
instead of wasting time, let me take you straight to the places which you visited last time, which you visited
Yeah.
online. Can I help you with that? Or when you were
Mhm.
in the store last time, what did you buy? And
Yeah.
can I add to that, right? So I think that every shopping starts from a zero here. Whether
Yeah.
online, maybe not,
Absolutely.
because online, I think they gather a lot of data. But offline, when I
Yeah.
go, the offline teams don't really want to know what you did last time. And I think that, to
Right.
me, absolutely right. The creating that data lake, that source of,
Mhm.
a CDP, data lake, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it, where all the
Correct.
data comes in. And then
Yeah.
maybe I think the other thing could be, Vikram, that you reward the teams to collaborate
Yeah.
on that and say it's one customer. We should win the customer no matter which channel that customer goes to, right?
Yeah. So I think, Rajat, you have hit on a very important point. Aside from technology and all of that, there's a people element to this whole thing. And if you look at, in our stores, there are a lot of stores which we have service people who are actually doing the service. There are cashiers, and then there might be people who are serving customers. Those service folks have to be at a higher level of understanding of this whole single view of customer. So somewhere I feel that because it's a such a high volume of people that's needed, I'm just not sure that the right level of skilling of these people happens.
Hmm.
And there's so much attrition in that space
Yeah, attrition as
that
well, right? They leave so
to
frequently, and
yeah. But I think to really be successful, exactly as you talked about it, from a people point of view, these people have to be skilled with that understanding. They have to be sensitized. They have to understand that online and offline is one thing and is one customer. So I think that skilling area is missing, in my opinion. I don't see that a lot happening
And also maybe
across the
enabling
board, I
them
would
with iPads or a handheld so that they can, do all of that rather than because see, at the end of the
say.
day,
Yeah.
that guy is also no matter how much you skill, attrition will
Yes.
continue. But if he's got if he's got like a handheld device on which he can
He
immediately
can
pull your
start
data
to show
out
them
and he
that.
can say,
Yeah.
why don't I help you? Why don't I help you choose? So what happens
Yeah.
right now, even in the best stores and your best stores, or you go to
Mhm.
other leading brands, whether it's the Uniqlo's of the world or whatever, you just see that there
Yeah.
is no technology being used by a lot of the people in the store. It's only at the
Right.
till. And once you walk in, it's a amazing experience, but they are not really
Mhm.
gathering on what we did last time. And maybe to
Yeah,
your point,
absolutely.
that's a big part that could be, to sort of
Yeah.
done to fulfill that, right? And do you run a lot of pilots in your stores and at the back end to try and look at some of these things? Do you continuously, because everything you can't originate, so do you bring in a
Mhm.
startup incubators? Do you do some of that stuff to really
Yeah.
bring in some
Yeah.
of these latest technologies? I mean, is that something
Yeah,
which is part of your
absolutely.
ecosystem as well?
Yeah, we definitely sense customers in store. We have ability, and as you said, we're working with some smaller niche companies that can do that. So we definitely are looking at understanding customer behavior better and being able to react to that. I would leave it at that,
Okay.
really.
And what just last question, I'm sure you
Hmm.
travel a fair bit. Which country, which market have you seen some really cutting edge retail practices that make you like, wow, this is something we could potentially bring to your stores or to India, and it could be in any other market. Anything you've seen recently that sort of really creates a wow with you on in store, behind, and the back end, front end, anything that sort of
Hmm.
jumps up?
See, I think in terms of technology use, in terms of the type of technology, nothing stands out so much to me as it is with some guys who are using technology seamlessly, so that a customer in a store, for example, not able to buy a product, is still able to quickly check out the same product in the app and do various other things in an app. Basically, the simplicity of use of technology with some retailers. I again wouldn't name any brands here, but I would say that there's at least one of them who I regularly shop from as well, who made the customer journey so seamless that
Oh, wow.
nowhere you would be nowhere. You can be anywhere and you will not miss out on their product, and you can buy it anywhere. Like, they'll make
And that's
sure that
both
you buy it
offline and online. They have offline and
offline and
online
online.
presence.
It's a very
Oh,
seamless integration with that. Yeah.
fantastic,
So
fantastic.
I think the use of that is, one of these
Perfect, perfect,
retailers has been very good
perfect,
at that. Yeah.
perfect. So
So
thanks so much, Vikram. Any other thoughts as we finish up? I think
no,
it's
I
an
just think
exciting,
that
exciting few years ahead. So much happening. I'm sure must be keeping
yeah,
you guys on your toes all the time because you don't know what's coming out. But I think
yeah,
it's all positive stuff. A lot of interesting new technologies coming out. But yeah,
yeah.
thank you so much. Any
I
thoughts
think
last?
my only last message to anyone who is watching this session is that with these new technologies, do not look to use this technology somewhere. Look at your problem statement. There will be 50 different issues that one has in a business that they are running. Look at each of the problems and then look at whether the technology can actually, whether AI or something can solve the problem. Many times what I see is people are looking to first look at, okay, what AI is out there and then how can I use it in my business. You should start bottom up, understand where your humans are falling short, and where they are falling short, then let's look at what technology can we use to get them better. That's the simple message I would say.
Yeah, not technology for technology's sake, but rather look at your problem statement and
Solving
then
a
then look at
problem.
the technology.
Yeah,
Thank you
should
so
solve
much.
the
Makes
problem. Yeah.
absolute sense. Absolute
Yeah.
sense. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm, with your experience, always good to hear these views.